Welcome to Moons and Meridians. In today's practice, we'll be synchronizing with the new moon in Capricorn. Before we begin, take a moment to make sure that you have the following props available: a yoga mat, a bolster, 2 blocks, and 1 blanket. Please take a moment to grab these items, and we'll meet back on the mat shortly. We'll begin this practice and our journey together lying down on our backs. Set your props off to the side of your mat for the time being, and make sure that you have space above your head and a clear runway as you make your way onto your back. Take a few moments to settle and get grounded into your body. Bend both knees, widen your feet, and let your knees come to touch in the midline. Rest one hand on your belly and the other on your heart, wherever it feels comfortable. Take a deep, cleansing breath and presence yourself in your body and this moment. Inhale, steadiness. Exhale, speed. Inhale, grounded. Exhale, fragmented. Inhale, loyalty. Exhale, rigidity. Let's begin to move toward our first shape of the practice, called crescent moon, also known as banana asana. Start by extending your legs long on the mat, and then reach your arms up overhead. Take a deep breath and stretch out like a cat. On your next inhale, walk your feet to the right side of your mat. Settle your hips evenly on the floor, and when you're ready, wiggle your upper shoulders over to the right as well, so that your whole body is arcing towards the right side of your mat, like a crescent moon. Settle your hips and the back of your body into the earth as best as you can. Breathe. The 3 lifelines or pillars of yin yoga are 1, finding your safe edge, 2, committing to stillness, and 3, allowing for space. Take a moment to notice the sensations present in your body. In Dao Yin, you enter into your body through the shapes of these practice, rather than entering into the shapes through your body. This is where your safe edge comes into play. You're safely practicing yin yoga when your body is not in pain, when you feel just enough sensation to create change in your body, but not too much to overstimulate. On the contrary, by not going deep enough into a shape, it won't stimulate the connective tissue. The stimulation is meant to balance the body's energy by tonifying and unblocking your qi. So not too much or too little. It's the Goldilocks position. Take a deep breath and let it go. Trust yourself, trust your discernment, and trust your body and its feedback through your capacity to feel. Deep breath in. Exhale to let it go. As you've settled into your safe edge, now resolve to find stillness. Throughout the practice, you may notice a tendency to want to fidget, move, or rush through a shape. Part of this practice involves not giving in to that impulse, but rather surrendering to stillness and breath. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Continue to resolve being in stillness, with the only movement coming from your rhythmic breath. Take one final breath into the shape, and exhale, let it go. Let's transition to the second side. Start with bringing your upper body back to the midline, followed by your legs. Take a breath in the midline to reset. Inhale. Exhale. Now walk your feet over to the left corner of your mat, followed by your upper body arcing over to the left for crescent moon. Take the first few moments as you come into this shape to wiggle your body and settle the back line of your body onto the earth and come into your safe edge. Inhale. Exhale. The meridian that we'll be focusing on today, and that's associated with Capricorn, is called the triple warmer. It's also known as the triple burner or the Sanjiao meridian. Continue to breathe on your own while I share more. While the Capricorn is an earth sign, and it's all about things like foundations, structures, ambition and drive, determination, discipline, practicality, grounding, things of that nature. The Sanjiao meridian is actually a fire meridian, and this meridian impacts the immune system and our ability to manage stress. This meridian is also known as the ambassador of the body's qi, or energy. It is also responsible for production and circulation of nourishing and protective energy. Take a breath. Since fire can set torch to the earth, it is important that we balance this channel to support building solid and sustainable foundations. This new moon in Capricorn asks us to build a new support and container that is inspired by our own inner wisdom. And while there's work to do out there, the paradox of Yin Yoga is that the doing is in the being. This is where essence is first ignited before manifestation. This is the void, the darkness, the potential of the new moon. Deep breath in, and exhale, let it go. Start to walk your upper body back to the midline, followed by your lower body. And take a deep breath again through the midline. Inhale. Exhale. Roll over to your side and use as little effort as necessary to come up into a seated posture. Sit on the edge of a folded blanket, making sure that you're sitting high enough to allow for your hips to sit higher than your knees. This will reduce any added tension to your low back. If needed, grab any extra props to support you in this. We'll meet in Sukhasana. Once you're seated comfortably, place one hand on your upper chest or your first dantian, and place your other hand just below your rib cage, your second dantian. Either slide your second hand down to your lower abdomen, the third dantian, or just imagine your hand there. This is the location of the three burners, also known as the three dantians. Breath is the most direct access we have to life force, source energy, or qi. Since energy flows where your attention goes, we can bring soothing life force into the 3 burners using the 3-part yogic breath. Here's what it looks like. Inhale the first third of your breath into your lower abdomen. Now let 2/3 of your breath rise up into your second dantian. Inhale the last third of your breath to fill your upper chest. And now exhale from your upper, middle, then lower dantian. Inhale into your abdomen, your lower ribs, your upper chest, and now exhale from your upper chest, lower ribs, and abdomen. Again, inhale into your abdomen, low ribs, and upper chest, and exhale from your upper chest, lower ribs, and abdomen. And flowing right back into your abdomen, lower ribs, upper chest, and releasing from your upper chest, lower ribs, and abdomen. Take a moment of pause to notice what's present for you. What intention are you nurturing this new moon? Take a deep breath to honor that intention. And exhale, let it go. Our next shape is called reclined butterfly. The most effective way to experience this shape is to set your bolster up on your blocks like this. The top block will be set on its second height, and the one below it will be set on the lowest height. Set them close enough together like this so that your bolster can be supported on them, like this. If you don't have blocks, you can try just resting on your bolster, or you can set a blanket underneath your bolster to support propping it up. To come into this shape, you're going to position the back of your hips to face the bottom of your bolster. Give yourself just a little bit of space between your hips and the bolster so that your low back can naturally adjust without overarching. Next, set up your blanket or towel in a long roll that looks like this. To come into the butterfly shape, bring the soles of your feet together. And now take your blanket roll and hold it on both ends, placing the center of the roll above your ankles. Now wrap the 2 ends of the blanket around your ankles like this. If you find that there's too much sensation in your inner thighs, either move your feet down closer to the end of your mat or bring extra props to the outsides of your knees. Now we're going to get ready to recline. Place your hands on the ground and begin to walk yourself back so that your spine drapes on your bolster. Once you're reclined, you can reach for the ends of your blanket to draw your feet closer to your hips, any amount. The lower part of the body is secondary to where we'll be placing our emphasis, so if it serves you better to extend your legs long, feel free to do so. If you're in the butterfly shape, make sure that you're at a safe edge. Let your arms rest on the ground beside you as your shoulders drape off the sides of the bolster to open up your chest. In this shape, we'll open the chest to support the chi flow in the Sanjiao Meridian. To find your safe edge in your upper body, slide your hands up towards your head, any amount, until you find your sweet spot. In so many instances, we may find ourselves with our shoulders rolled forward and our chest collapsed. This creates a chain reaction where the front of the body contracts, it pulls on the back body. When we are contracted in this way, we are embodying the posture of lethargy, sadness, fear, and hopelessness. Take a courageous breath in. And exhale, let it go. In this shape, we have the opportunity to open the chest, giving slack to the back of the body to reorganize and balance itself. Now, start to let go into the shape. Notice if there's any resistance anywhere in your body, and send your breath into this space. As you find your first lifeline in this practice, which is your safe edge, next you'll commit to stillness. Take a few moments in silence to be in the shape as an observer. Can you relax your feet, your knees, your hips, your belly, your chest, your hands, your jaw? Notice the state of your breath. Here you can practice the 3-part yogic breath, breathing into your lower abdomen, lower ribs, upper chest, and exhaling from your upper chest, lower ribs, and abdomen. Feel free to continue this breath wave on your own as you relax into stillness. As you let go into stillness, the third lifeline emerges, which is space. Here is where the real nectar of the practice surfaces. Space is the pivot point where your state of consciousness shifts, tension dissolves, and patterns get interrupted. This is similar to the state of consciousness known as the hypnagogic state, as practiced in Yoga Nidra. When you are in this state, your vital energy is concentrated on restoring and reorganizing. I like to think of this as your inner pharmacy at work. Take one final deep breath into this shape. And exhale, let it go. To transition out of the shape, choose the side to roll over to and use your arms to press yourself up. Keep your head heavy and move slowly. Yin is about slowing down. Allow your transitions to be slow as well. Keep your bolster propped up where it is, as we'll be using it again. For now, we'll be coming back into a seat. You're welcome to refold your blanket into a square if that's needed to sit comfortably. Take the time you need to find a comfortable seated posture. On your next inhale, float your right arm up towards the sky. Bend your right elbow and let your right hand rest where it feels natural, either on the back of your neck or your upper back. Place your left palm on your right elbow like it's a sandbag at triple warmer 10. See if you can experience sinking into your elbow rather than pushing. Here, we begin to work with specific points along the Sanja Meridian. Notice if you are holding anywhere, and see if you can let go of resistance and sink into your safe edge. Here, we'll take just 3 breaths. The deep inhale, and exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, and exhale. On your own. Slowly release your arms back down to your sides and do a couple of wrist spirals to release any stagnation in the wrists. Let's do the second side. Float your left arm up towards the sky, bend your left elbow, and let your left hand rest on the back of your neck or your upper back. Place your right palm on your left elbow at Sanjiao 10 and let your hand sink your elbow down until you find that safe edge. Notice if you can sense the energy of your nervous system. Do you feel on alert? Do you feel calm? Take 3 deep breaths here. And slowly let go of the shape. Unwind your arms and spiral your wrists. From the seated position, we'll move into a shape that will work the neck points of this meridian. It is important here especially that you only go to about half of your max or less. We're only looking for enough sensation to turn on your body's healing mechanisms. Begin by using your abdominal muscles to rotate your torso over to the left. Place your left hand on the ground outside of your hip and reach your right arm across to your left knee. Make sure that you don't crank your torso over to the left. Now drop your left ear to your left shoulder and take a deep breath here. You can begin to explore more of the Sanjiao Meridian by letting your eyes travel across the horizon over to your right shoulder. Keep your left ear moving towards your left shoulder. Find your safe edge and take another deep breath. When the energy of the triple warmer meridian is balanced, consciousness is stable, and the mind's intent is benevolent and kind-hearted. Take one more deep breath in this space. And exhale, let it go. To come out of this shape, sink your chin to your chest, release your hand from your knee, rotate back to the midline, and slowly roll up. Your head comes up last. Feel free to invite in sahaja or organic movement as your body intuits. Take a deep breath and exhale, let it go. Let's move to the second side. Use your abdominal muscles to rotate your torso over to the right, any amount. Place your right hand on the ground outside of your hip and reach your left hand to your right knee. Again, make sure that you're not cranking your torso over to the right. Take a deep breath here and imagine energy moving up your spine. And as you exhale, sink your right ear towards your right shoulder. Send an intentional breath into the space where you feel sensation. And exhale, let that go. To explore more along this meridian line, let your eyes track the horizon, gazing over your left shoulder, but keep your right ear to your right shoulder. Find that sweet spot where there's not too much effort, just enough. Take a deep breath and exhale, let it go. Explore sending one more breath into the space. And exhale, let it go. To release, sink your chin to your chest. Release your left hand from your knee and come back to neutral. And roll up with your head coming up last. Again, explore sahaja as your body intuits. Next, we'll be moving into a tabletop position. There'll be some pressure on the knees, so you can use your blanket under your knees if needed, or set your blanket aside. You might also find it to be helpful to bring extra support underneath your seat. In tabletop, your knees are directly under your hips and your wrists below your shoulders. Scoop your right fingertips under and place the back of your right hand on the earth. Begin to sink just the right amount of weight into the wrist to create a slight sensation. Make sure the sensation is not strong, and of course that there's no pain. Back off if either of those are present. Take a deep breath to clear and decongest points along the hand, wrist, and forearm. Slowly uncurl your hand and place your palm now on the earth. Let's go to the second side. Curl your left fingertips under and place the back of your left hand on the earth. Sink just enough weight to experience a slight sensation. Relax your shoulders, your abdomen, your jaw, and take a deep breath. And exhale, let it go. Unwind your left hand and place your left palm flat on the earth. The next shape we can work simultaneously. Spiral your hands outward just the right amount to where you can place as much of your palm on the earth as possible to bring a sensation in the inside of your forearms. Sink the right amount of weight to bring you into your safe edge. What intention are you setting on this new moon cycle? Take a deep breath and exhale, let it go. Shift your hips back to your feet to bring the weight up and off of your wrists. Sit upright and spiral your wrists for decongestion. Take another deep breath. Our next shape is a tabletop shoulder stretch, so meet me in tabletop. Plant your left hand and reach your right arm up towards the sky. On your exhale, gracefully dive your right arm under your torso over to the left, any amount. Rest your right shoulder on the earth or the outside of your right shoulder. Your left hand can either relax along the side of your body, extend up overhead, or your elbow can bend and bind behind your back. Choose which option will support you today. Settle into your safe edge and breathe. Focus on just taking one breath at a time. Trust that the wisdom of your body will know where and how to transmute the energy that's not serving you. As you let go, taking one breath at a time, just imagine the circulation of nourishing and protective energy moving throughout your body. With soft ambition, continue to take one breath at a time. Take one final breath into the shape and exhale, let it go. To come out of the shape, place your left hand underneath your shoulder, press down into the earth, and unwind your right shoulder back in the same way that you came. Reach your right arm up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale back into tabletop. We'll do the same thing, second side. Ground your right hand and inhale your left arm to the sky. On the exhale, gracefully dive your left arm underneath your torso over to the right. Rest your weight on your left shoulder or the outside of your left shoulder. Relax your right arm along the side of your body. Reach it up overhead or bend your right elbow and bend your arm behind your back. Choose what option will support you today. know that this side may not be the same choice as the other side. Bring your awareness into the sensation that you feel. Have you found your safe edge? Depending on the history of various parts of your body, your safe edge may still present some discomfort, particularly because we're holding the shape for a longer period of time. As long as you're not feeling any pain or you're not in too much sensation, it's most likely that you're in a safe space to continue to explore. Now turn to your breath and take one breath at a time. Working this part of the meridian may conjure up some feelings and emotions, particularly because it's the same side as the heart. The heart meridian shares the fire element and can spread in every direction with rapid, random, and wild rhythm. To harness and balance our fire, we can benefit from the grounding and patient energy of Capricorn. Focus on one breath at a time. Take one final breath in this shape and exhale, let it go. Release the shape by grounding into your right hand and unwinding your left arm in the same pathway that you came into it. Reach your left hand to the sky. Take a deep breath. And exhale, float your left palm to meet your right in tabletop. Find a comfortable upright position, and we'll trace the Sanjiao meridians as shared in the course page. Bring your right palm to your left temple and sweep up and around your ear, down the back of your neck, your shoulder, your tricep, crossing the elbow and coming to the top of the forearm, ending on the end of the ring finger. And we'll do that again. Palms to the left temple, down the neck, shoulder, triceps, elbow, forearm, ring finger. One more time, temple, neck, shoulder, triceps, elbow, forearm, ring finger. Let's do the second side. Left hand on the right temple, moving up and around the ear, the back of the neck, back of the shoulder, triceps, elbow, down the top of the forearm, out through the ring finger. Again, the temple, around the ear, back of the neck, shoulder, tricep, elbow, top of the forearm, down and out the ring finger. One more time, the outside of the eyebrow, around the ear, back of the neck, shoulder, tricep, elbow, top of the forearm, down and out the ring finger. Take a moment to pause and feel what's present. Are there sensations, emotions, thoughts? Just remain an observer and allow whatever bubbles up to be present and released with your exhale. Deep inhale and exhale, let it go. For our next shape, we'll be moving back over to the bolster. Find yourself sitting in front of the bolster, same as when we started. Recline back onto the bolster just as before. Rotate your palms towards the sky and slide your hands up towards your head any amount to open your chest. Bend both of your knees with your feet on the floor, and now cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, coming into a figure 4 position. Take a deep breath in. Now ground through your left foot and lift your hips up off the mat. Scoot them over to the right and allow your right foot to sink over to the left, coming into a figure 4 twist. Take the time and care to find your safe edge in this shape. You may find that that means providing some support underneath your right foot. Explore your way into the shape, and once you find your safe edge, begin to settle into stillness. Return to your breath. Being that the Sanjia Meridian is only located in the upper body, we want to make sure that we give the rest of the body an opportunity to open and receive breath. In this shape, not only do we have an opportunity to revisit the chest opening, but also to explore the reflexive zone for the shoulder, which is in the hip. Begin to draw your breath and attention to the spaces in your hip that you feel the most sensation. Breathe into them. And exhale, let it go. Your inhale brings in pure chi and source energy. And your exhale eliminates and releases that which is not needed. Trust the life cycle of your breath, one at a time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Where can you let go? Where can you release? Relax your jaw, your hips, and your pelvic floor. Send breath all the way down to your pelvic floor. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Continue with your rhythmic breath in silent exploration. Let this be your time to build your foundation and reservoir of life-giving chi. Take one final breath into the shape. And exhale, let it go. Take your time unwinding from the shape and coming back to neutral. A counter pose that may feel good for you is windshield wipers. Widen your feet and let the inside of your right knee fall to the midline, followed by your left. You can pause or find a rhythm back and forth, whatever feels supportive for your body. Take a deep breath and exhale, let it go. Now let's move to our left side. Cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh and let your left foot begin to sink to the right side. Root down through your right foot, lift your hips up off the mat and scoot them over to the left. Take whatever time you need to explore your left hip, as it may feel different from your right. As well, notice if there's any additional support that you may offer your body to be able to fully release into the shape for a few minutes. Tune in and notice what sensations you feel. Inhale. Exhale. Once you feel supported and at your safe edge, begin to let go into stillness. As you dissolve into stillness and expand into space, the tissue matrix known as your fascia begins to unwind and rehydrate. As the crystalline structure of this tissue receives the breath of life, it reorganizes it into its sacred geometric structure. As tensions dissolve and unwind, this allows for the divine blueprint of your bones to return to alignment. Inhale. Exhale. Find your rhythmic breath and explore this side in silent observation. Take one final deep breath on this side. And exhale, let it go. Slowly unwind from this shape and come back to neutral. Again, we can explore the counter pose of windshield wipers. Choose a side to roll over to and use your hands to lift yourself up into a seated position. For our last shape before we explore Shavasana, we'll come into caterpillar. This is a seated forward fold, and you may benefit from sitting on top of a blanket. Come into your seat and extend your legs out in front of you. Draw the flesh out from under your sits bones so that your pelvis can tip forward rather than rolling back. Sitting on the edge of a blanket will also help to support this position. Hinge from your hips and begin to walk your hands forward any amount. Your knees can bend as much as they need to. Remember, you're not looking to go to your max, you're just looking to bring enough sensation to create a change in your body. If you're feeling a lot of sensation through your back body, particularly in your neck, bring in extra support underneath your forehead. Take the time you need to find your safe edge and sink into stillness. Deep inhale. Exhale. This particular shape gives us an opportunity to open up the back line of the body. This is where the bladder meridian is located. The bladder and kidney meridians are associated with winter. Additionally, opening up the back line of the body gives way for grounding energy to move up through your feet, legs, and hips, grounding you into your center dantian. Deep inhale. Exhale. I invite you to focus your attention and send your next few breaths into your upper back through your Sanjiao energy lines. Deep inhale. and exhale. Keep going with your own rhythmic breath. Complete the breath cycle that you're on and take one final inhale into this shape. Deep breath. Exhale. To come out of this shape, keep your chin tucked to your chest and walk your hands back toward your hips. Leverage your hands into the earth and roll up one vertebrae at a time, with your head lifting up last. I invite you to spend the next 2 minutes exploring your own organic movement, or you may observe silent meditation. I will ring the bell when 2 minutes is complete. We will now move into our final resting pose of Shavasana. To get the most nectar from this restorative pose, make sure that you will be warm enough and that you're comfortable lying on the floor. It may serve you to place a bolster underneath your knees to support your low back. Feel free to add any additional modifications or props to your desire. Take a few moments to comfortably settle into stillness. Once you're there, take a deep, intentional breath. Let your next inhale sink all the way down to the depths of your bones, remembering their ancient wisdom and their connection to the earth. Let your exhale be in remembrance of our connection to the entire universe. Take one more intentional breath in, and exhale, let it go. You can now let your breath go, releasing control and allowing for your breath to breathe you. Feel or sense your bones growing heavy into the earth and your entire body softening around your bones. Relax your feet, your ankles, your legs, your knees, your thighs. Relax your hips. Relax your pelvis and pelvic floor. Relax your abdomen, your ribs, your lungs. Feel, sense, or hear the rhythmic beating of your heart. Relax your shoulders, your arms, your forearms, your wrists, hands, and fingers. Relax your neck, your ears, your head. Feel space widen across your forehead between your eyebrows as your eyes grow heavy and sink in their sockets. Feel or sense your lower jaw decompressing away from your upper jaw, creating space. Relax your tongue. Even relax your teeth inside your gums. Your whole body relaxes. Your whole body is relaxed. Continue to let go, receiving the fruits of your practice in the safe and life-giving cocoon of your Shavasana. Begin to return your awareness back into your room. Take a deep, intentional breath. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift your hands up overhead and take a deep cat stretch and breath. Exhale. Roll over to one side and use as little effort as necessary to come into a seated position. Sukhasana. Bring your hands together, palm to palm, prayer hands, also called Anjali Mudra. I invite you to bow your head towards your heart as a gesture of gratitude and reverence for the life-giving medicine of your practice. May we also send gratitude to this new moon of Capricorn and for her wisdom, guidance, and energy. Take a deep inhale and exhale, let it go. If time permits and you're working on deepening your meditation practice, I invite you to stay for as long as you wish, as this practice is a doorway into meditation. Otherwise, please join me for the closing chant of Om. We'll inhale to chant, deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you and namaste.